solve comparison and prediction problems. In other words, you're going to get a proportion and you're going to solve it. First, and you're going to set it up from a word problem. So before we do that, let's review what we learned about equivalent ratios and rates, which is another word for proportion. At the school book sale, Michael bought 3 books for $6. Darnell bought 5 books for $10. Do these rates form a proportion? I mean, are they equivalent? Explain your reasoning. Oh, this rate involves money. So it's unit price. Remember, cost over unit. So Michael. And on the other side, we have Darnell. So Michael bought for $6, he paid for 3 books. If I'm going to break this down into a unit rate, how much did he pay per book? So I break it down by dividing both numbers by 3. So he pays $2 per book. However, Darnell pays $10 for 5 books. Good for him. However, he did pay more for that. So how much would each book cost per book? I break it down by dividing by 5. He also pays $2 per book. So yes, they form a proportion. $6 as 3 books is the same as $10 to 5 books. So they are proportional. They are the same. So let's do our first question. So I'm going to teach you 3 methods. I'm going to do the bar diagram through pictures. I'm going to do through a rate table, and I'm going to do it by setting up a proportion. Of the 3 methods, please figure out which one you prefer. Alex read 4 pages in a book in 6 minutes. How long would you expect him to read 6 pages at this rate? So here's a bar diagram. I labeled it 6 minutes. I need to break it down into pages, and there are 4 pages. So let's label each section 1 page. Because remember, he read 4 pages in 6 minutes. So if we have 6 minutes and we're going to break it down into 4 sections or 4 groups, how many minutes will there be for each page? So we have 6 minutes. You're going to break it down into 4 sections. So can 4 go in 6? 1 time. Remainder is 2. I bring down to 0. How many 4s go in 20? 5 times. So it's 1.5. So each page, 1 page takes him 1.5 minutes. 1 page takes 1.5 minutes, or 1.5 minutes. 1 page takes 1.5 minutes, and 1 page takes 1.5 minutes. So predicted number of minutes it would take Alex to complete 6 pages at the same rate. So we know each page takes 1.5 minutes. So it's 1.5 minutes plus 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 1.5 minutes. You could add it up 6 times, or you can multiply by 6. And that's 90 pages. Or 90 minutes, I mean. No. Remember, when you multiply decimal, this is the tens place. This has to be the tens place. So it will take him 9 minutes or 6 groups of 1.5 minutes to read 6 pages. That's called a bar diagram. Some kids do not like this way. I personally, I won't say what my opinion is yet. All right, let's look at the next one. Here's a rate table. So using the same problem, we set it up. So we know, let's go back to the question. He read 4 pages in 6 minutes. So I already labeled it for you. 4 pages in 6 minutes. By the end, he will have to have read 6 pages. So, we've already learned this one. If you cannot remember how to do ratio or rate table, please go back to previous YouTube videos. How can you build up from 4 to a 6? Can you build it up from 4 to 6? Can you scale it up? No. Oh, we can break it down. Let's break down 4 and 6 by dividing by 2. It'd be 2 and 3. Now we can build up from 2 pages to 6 pages by multiplying by 3. So the answer is 6 pages, 9 minutes. Oh gosh, Well, didn't we spend like maybe less than a minute on this compared to the bar diagram? But they're all good. They all get you the correct answer. All right, next one, write the proportion. So proportion is when you have two fractions that show an equality, or you have two rates that are equivalent or equal to each other. The only difference between a rate table and proportion is you have to set it up. So let's label these. So let's go. Alex complete. The question says, let's go back to the previous screen. She read 4 pages in 6 minutes. So 4 pages in 6 minutes. How long will it take her to read 6 pages in how many minutes? So the only difference between a rate table is you will have to number them and label it, each one. Can 4 pages go into 6 pages? No. So can we break down 4 and 6? Yes, you can break down 4 and 6. I'm going to break it down by dividing both numbers by 2, so it'll be 2 and 3. Now can I build it back up from 2 pages to 6 pages? Times 3, and 6 pages takes 9 minutes. That is a proportion. There really is no difference between a rate table and proportion. For some kids, they like the rate table because a rate table is organized. It's very neat. You can just list the information inside a table and you will not mess up. In this one, this is very good too. This takes very short amount of time to set this up. So either one. All right, let's do another question. I'm going to do all 3 of them and then I'm going to pretty much tell you which one I prefer. Sarah can type 90 words in 4 minutes. So let's label it 90 words. Let's break it down into minutes. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. So how many words would you expect her to type in 10 minutes at this rate? So we have 90 words. We need to break it down into 4 sections or 4 groups. So how many words can she type in each 1 minute? Goes in 2 times. This goes in 2 times. You have a remainder, get a remainder, add a 0.0 because you don't want to change its place, change its value, and 4 going 25 times. So it takes her 22, she can do, in 1 minute, she can do 22.5 words. 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 But she needs to do this for 10 minutes straight. So we know each minute is 22.5 words. So 22 plus 5, 22.5 plus 22.5 plus 22.5 plus 22.5 plus 22.5 plus 22.5. So you need to add it up 10 times. Alright, you could add it 10 times. Or 10 groups of 22.5 is the same thing as multiplying by 10. 0, 0, 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Dang, she could type 2,250 words in 10 minutes. Wait, I forgot the decimal point. This is in the tens place, so this is in tens place. So she can type 225 words in 10 minutes. That is the bar diagram. Let's do the rate table. In a rate table, we have to label. What is this about? This is about words and minutes. Let's put the numbers in the correct spot. She can do 90 words in 4 minutes. About how many words would you expect her to do in 10 minutes? Can 4 go into a 10? No, it cannot. Can we break down 90 words in 4 minutes? Yes, I'm going to divide both numbers by 2. So let's be 45 and 2. Now can you build it back up? Yes, by 5. So 45 times 5 is 225 words for 10 minutes. Oh my God, that was so much faster. Oh gosh, I love this so much. All right, maybe you want to set up as a proportion. So in a proportion, you must fill in all 4 spots. I'm going to do it, let's extend our table. So here's the stuff. So we know 90, you know what, I'm going to make it a little larger because I write too big. So yeah, 90 90 words in 4 minutes. About how many words would you expect her to type in 10 minutes? Can 4 minutes go into 10 minutes? No, you have to break this down to 45 and 2. Now, can you build it back up? Times 5 times 5. So 45 times 5 is 225 words per 10 minutes. I'll be honest. I'm going to tell you right now. I do not care for the bar diagram that much. It's good. It's a great picture. You just build it. You have to break it down and build it up through picture form. Great. I don't think it's very efficient. However, in a rate table, I really love the rate table because all the information so neat and organized. But I also love the proportion. I like both of these. I'll be honest. As I'm going to teach you both. I'm going to focus more on both of these. So let's go to this one. The Hams drove 98 miles of 4 gallons of gas. At this rate, predict how many miles they can drive on 6 gallons of gas. To write the proportion, you circle key numbers and keywords. I see key numbers like this, this, and this, and I see keywords. I see the units with it. And then you set it up. So 98 miles, 4 gallons, the same as X over 6 gallons, the missing thing. Then we label this. I forgot to label this. Shame on me. Can 4 gallons go into 6 gallons? Can you build it up? No, you cannot build it up. I think you're going to have to break this down. Then we'll build it back up. So 98 and 4, let's see, I'm going to break it down by dividing by 2. So it'll be 49 miles and 2 gallons. Now can you build this back up? I multiply it by 3 and I get 147 miles for 6 gallons. So this is the proportion. I really like this. If you don't like this way, you could make yourself a ratio table. There is nothing wrong with a ratio table. If this is easier for the setup, do it this way. So we know it's 98 miles and 4 gallons, 6 gallons. Can 4 go into 6? No, I have to break this down by dividing by 2. So it becomes 49, 2. Now can you build it up back? Yes, times 3. You get you get 147 miles per 6 gallons. Let's talk about this question one more time. Did you know you can set up this question? Let me erase all this first. Did you know you can set up this question a different type of proportion, a different way? You can do it. You can have done it this way. We did miles and gallons, miles and gallons. You can label it like this way. You could do miles, gallon, miles, gallon. So the Hams drove 98 miles on 4 gallons of gas. Predict how many miles they can drive on 6 gallon gas right here. And then we have to figure out this. So 98 miles take 4 gallon gas. How many miles for 6 gallon gas? You could have done it this way. So if you had said it like this way, you have to think to yourself, can 4 go into a 98? No. So you have to break this down by 2 and 3. Now build it back up. How many 2 gallons, how many 2s, go into 98? Times 49. Times 49. That would be 27 to 147 miles. So 98 miles take 4 gallons. 147 miles take 6 gallons. That's another way you could set it up. I prefer just to set it up and down, up and down. But you can do side to side, side to side. I'm going to go now to different types of questions now. I like this question. Greg can wash 4 windows in 30 minutes. Circle key numbers, key units. How many windows can he wash in 2 hours? So I know the units will be about windows and minutes. Windows and minutes. It is so important that you label these with your unit. If you don't label these, you're not going to know where to put the numbers in, which spot. 4 windows takes 30 minutes. 2 hours. is equivalent to 120 minutes. All right, can you build this up from 30 minutes to 120 minutes times 4? He can wash 16 windows in 120 minutes or 2 hours. All right, let's get to the harder stuff. Sometimes you'll have really tough questions from part to total. What do I mean by that? There are 12 boys and 8 girls. I'm going to draw these so it makes it more easier so you see what I'm doing. Here are the 12 boys. Here are the 8 girls. At this rate, if there are 800 students at the school, how many will be girls? So you circle all these. However, there's too many units here. You have boys, girls, students. But we can only have 2 units inside a rate table or proportion. So we must decide what is this question asking about? It's asking, let's look at the main idea, the question. If there are 800 students at the school, how many will there be girls? So it's about girls and students. That is what this question is about. To answer this, you need to fill in with girls and students. So let's look at our drawing here. From this, how many girls do you see? I see 8 girls. But out of this group or set, how many are students? How many students do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 12, 20 students. So we have 8 girls in this classroom out of 20 students. If we keep this pattern up, keep this rate up, how many girls will be for 800 students? That's for the whole set of school, I guess. So let's build this up. How many 20s go into 800? You could sit there and just guess. 20 times, I don't know. I think it's 40. But if you cannot build it up that high up, this is how I build it a little at a time. I'm going to build it up by 5. 20 students times 5 is 100. 8 times 5 is 40. Again, I'm going to build it up again. 100 to 800 is times 8. Times 8. So there are 320 girls out of 800 students and that is the answer. Remember, we're keeping it the ratio. For every 20 students, there are 8 girls. If we keep this pattern up, 8 girls, 20 students. 16 girls, 40 students. 24, 60. Keep the pattern up. Eventually, you will hit 320 girls out of 800 students. All right, let's go to our last type of, there's no more questions like those. You know what? I can make a question. Imagine you have 2 dogs and 3 cats. If you keep this rate at this rate, if there are a total of, 30 animals, how many will be dogs? So we see a ratio or a room full of 2 dogs and 3 cats. If you keep this pattern going, I would like to know, out of 30 animals, how many will be dogs? So the unit is about dogs out of total animals. Dogs and animals. So how many dogs do you see in the set? 2 dogs out of how many animals? 5 animals. If there are a total of 30 animals, how many will be dogs? Can you build 5 animals to 30 animals? Times 6. Times 6. 12 dogs and 18 cats make 30 animals. So be very careful how you do these questions. Every year I see kids who do this. They don't read the word total animals. They always do 2 dogs, 3 cats. And then they try to build 3 cats into 30 animals. The animals include dogs and cats. So wouldn't there be a big war if they're together like that? Anyway, so what we learned today is how to set up a proportion or rate table. Make sure you label it correctly. The labels are so important. Then you fill in the number. And then you will have to build it up, build it up, build it up until you reach an answer. Sometimes you gotta break it down, then build it up, build it up. Sometimes you build it up one at a time until you find that missing value.